It's good to see you today. I told you yesterday that I was going to read an Easter book today. So today I'm going to read an Easter book, and it is called The Easter Ribbit. And it is written by Bernice Chardiet and illustrated by Charles Micucci. Easter was coming. The bunnies were very busy making pretty Easter baskets, carrying jelly beans, and painting eggs. Froggy watched them from his pond. Sometimes he wished that he were a rabbit. They seemed to be having so much fun. Maybe he could convince Turtle to let him paint her eggs before they hatched. Froggy quickly ran to the beach. Turtle was there, covering her eggs with sand. "Ribbit, Ribbit," Froggy called to Turtle. "It's almost Easter. May I paint your eggs? Ribbit." "Oh, keep quiet," Turtle warned. "Can't you see I am trying to hide them? If you were to paint them, every bird in the forest would see my eggs and eat them before the babies could hatch and crawl to the water. Go back to your log and stop bothering us." Froggy walked sadly back to his favorite hollow log near the rabbit tree and crawled inside. After a long time of feeling far sorry for himself, he fell asleep and he had a dream. In the dream, he was the Easter Ribbit. Not quite a rabbit, but not a frog either. He was rushing through the high grass to deliver Easter baskets to all the children. The baskets were full of things that Froggy loved: jelly beans, lollipops, flies, tiny fish eggs, seaweed bars, and delicious mosquitoes too. Suddenly, a terrible noise woke Froggy. He opened his eyes and he peeked out of the log. And the Chief Easter Bunny had just landed in a helicopter. He was carrying armfuls of lists of all the children who needed Easter presents. Mrs. Rabbit and all of her assistants came running out to greet him. "Oh my! You are doing a wonderful job," said the chief, "but we need more helpers. Can you handle an extra load of deliveries?" "Oh dear," said Mrs. Rabbit, "we don't have enough bunnies to deliver the baskets we have. Flossie and Fernie caught colds last night, and I'm afraid they're running fevers. And Hubert and Henley hurt their feet squeezing under a fence. They can't run until next week. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do?" "Advertise," said the Chief Easter Bunny. "Call Mrs. Duck's employment agency. She can fly over the woods and drop ads for the position tonight. Mrs. Duck's a quack, but she may be able to help us." "All right," said Mrs. Bunny. "We'll do our best." Mrs. Duck was sound asleep when Mrs. Rabbit called, but she woke up and wrote the ad anyway. Unfortunately, Mrs. Duck was very nearsighted, and she didn't see her spelling mistake. Instead of writing an ad for an Easter rabbit, she had written an ad for an Easter Ribbit. One of the ads landed on Froggy's log. Froggy saw it as soon as he woke up the next morning. "An Easter Ribbit?" said Froggy. "Oh, that's me!" It was his dream come true. Quickly, he wrote down Mrs. Duck's address and ran to the employment office. Although she couldn't see well, Mrs. Duck suspected that she was looking at a frog. Nevertheless, Froggy was the only client who had come into her office for a very long time, and there wasn't a rabbit in sight. Mrs. Duck ran to her storage room and cut out a big pair of floppy ears. And then she tied them onto Froggy's head. Then Mrs. Duck pasted on a big cotton ball onto Froggy to make a rabbit's tail. Froggy was divinely happy. He ran to Mrs. Rabbit's tree right away. Mrs. Rabbit and all of her assistants were working feverishly to color new eggs and fill new baskets. Glancing quickly at Froggy's floppy ears, Mrs. Rabbit didn't notice that he was an Easter ribbit. And not an Easter rabbit. She pointed to a tall tower of Easter baskets outside the back door and told Froggy to start his deliveries. Froggy looked at the baskets. "Ribbit," he asked, "I'll never be able to deliver all these baskets by Easter." There was only one thing to do. Quickly, he hopped down to the pond. Ribbiting as loudly as he could, Froggy called all of his friends and relatives to come and help him. Soon, a crowd of frogs of all shapes and sizes leapfrogged to pick up the baskets stacked behind Mrs. Rabbit's tree. And if you had been anywhere near Froggy's log at the crack of dawn on Easter morning, you would have seen them marching through the meadow to deliver Easter baskets to the children. And at the head of the parade was Froggy, ribbiting a happy song. The end. Okay, actually, it's not really the end. He actually sings a song, but since I have a horrible voice, I'm not gonna sing the song. You'll probably just be happier with just, imagining that song in your head, because I'm sure it will sound way better than if I tried to sing it. So sing your favorite ribbiting song and have a happy Easter, and I'll see you tomorrow.